Coles is the supermarket chain that heavily promotes LGBTQ+ ideology and hiring bias. And Woolworths is the delightful chain that decided not to stock Australia Day merchandise. Both companies seem to be firmly in the clutches of the Australian left when it comes to policies like this. And now the support of the anti-free market left is coming back to bite them on their backsides. The Woolworths Australia Day merchandise decision seems to reflect a serious disconnect from everyday Aussies, a senior leadership that's perhaps out of touch or arrogant. That's a perception supported by the attempt by the Woolies CEO, or ex-CEO now, Brad Banducci, to walk out of his Four Corners interview this week. The line of questioning that so offended Mr Banducci was about Coles and Woolies' treatment of their suppliers. The old boss of Australia's consumer and competition watchdog, the ACCC, Rod Sims, told the show that suppliers were supposed to be protected by a government food and grocery code of conduct brought in 2015. But Sims says that code of conduct is just a disgrace and it just isn't working.
The establishment in 2015 of a food and grocery code of conduct was supposed to take some of this friction out of the supermarket-supplier relationship. Under the code, each supermarket appoints and pays for an arbiter to handle its complaints.
The grocery code of conduct is quite frankly a disgrace. You have a code with no penalties. Now let me just emphasise that. That is like having a speed limit throughout one of our cities of 60 kilometres an hour. That's the speed limit. Then someone said, what happens if I go 80? Nothing. There's no penalty. So the law's a joke. The code of conduct is a joke.
So that was the ABC's Four Corners. One of the failings of capitalism and free markets is the tendency to monopoly. That eventually you lose the competition that makes the market work and keeps prices low. Basically one or two players will get too big and they start controlling things, and that is probably one of the only roles the government should play in regulating the market, preventing those kinds of monopolies. And that's what the ACCC was set up originally to do. I personally wish it would spend some time looking at the ABC, don't you?